everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm Joey Evans.
Today we're taking a look at a game called Sanctuary, which for some reason on the front cover they decided to write Sanctuary.
It was too long, okay?
There was no room on this box.
They didn't even write sanct
No.
to make it look like holy.
No
They wanted
hyphen
it to
either.
match Ark Nova.
I don't care.
Does Ark Nova
That's so
have that box
dumb.
on the front? I don't even remember.
Anyway, this is a follow-up to Ark Nova. It's called an Ark Nova game. I think a better way to describe it would be like it's Ark Nova, the tile game.
Yeah.
It's similar to Ark Nova in ways that a card game would be similar, but it's not cards, if that makes sense. So before we talk about this game, before we jump into the overview and everything, real quick, what's everyone's opinion on Ark Nova? For me, it's a 10 out of 10. What about you?
Oh, number? I think Ark Nova.
Well, I mean, do you like it or not? You don't have to have an exact number.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
I think it's fine. It's dropped a little bit from. It's still like a 7.5.
I think it's fine. I think it's too long for what it
Okay,
is.
they're all wrong, but all right, that's amazing. But that's fine.
Thanks for coming out, everyone. I'm leaving.
We're not talking about this. We're talking about this one. Let's go over how it plays, and we'll be right back. Each player is going to get their own player board. You can all play with the same ones, or there's alternate ones on the other side of the board, where you'll be putting the different tiles that you get. Underneath your board, you have these 4 different tiles. The first thing you'll do in your turn is you look at this tile specifically and where the white arrow is pointing. This one's pointing at the 1. You must take a tile into your tile rack that is that number or lower. In this case, I don't have a choice. I'll take the 1. But if the tile was pointing at the 3, I could have taken this tile, or this tile, and added that tile to my rack. After you do that mandatory action, you then must pick one of the tiles and take the action on that tile. This one here says play a project, or take any of the tiles from the display. This one here, these 3 all let you play an animal. This one lets you play an animal that is forest or undefined, rock or undefined, water or undefined, or draw 2 tiles from the pile. They all have the same thing. When you play a project or an animal, the number that the arrow is pointing to matters. And after you're done doing that action, you'll take it to the bottom and push up the other ones. When playing an animal or project, the arrow needs to be pointing to at least the number that is showing here, and it needs to be the type up here. Animals will have other icons on them, but when you play them, as you play a tile, the first ones need to be next to the paths here, but after that, you can place them next to a tile that's out there. Some tiles have arrows on them. When it shows that, you need to take a tile from your rack and flip it over and put it there to show that you have empty land next to there, because that one needs more land. If for some reason this tile was already out, I already have an empty land place here, this would satisfy that. And some tiles have more arrows on multiple sides of them. Projects are similar. Sometimes they give you a special ability or a permanent thing. This one permanently lets you put out large animals for 1 less. This one here, water costs 1 less. Sometimes they will also allow you to release an animal. If I have an Australian animal with that symbol, I can put this on top of it, and it will give me a couple of these tokens, which are worth extra points at the end of the game, but can also be used to complete projects. A few other things of note: if you have an animal that is a male and the female, there's 2 of many of the animals, you also get a bonus 1 of those tokens if you get both of them into your zoo. After you take your action to move your tiles, you have the option of playing a building. Buildings can be played as long as you meet the requirements. And this needs to be next to 4 water areas. This one says I have to have all my tiles next to the river. This needs to be filled in. This one needs to be next to an herbivore. That one's easier to play. And this one needs to be next to 4 different animal and or continent icons. So if you meet these requirements, like I can play this one because there's an herbivore here, you can put a building out. You also can support a conservation project. At the beginning of the game, you're going to put 5 tiles out of 10 on these conservation projects. They show types of animals or continents. If you have that many icons in your zoo, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you can play. Let's say I have 2 Australian icons. I can put this here and flip it, and at the end of the game, I'm going to get 5 points. If I have, maybe I want to wait, I have 2 Australian, I want to get 5, I might wait till later to put out the 5 one, which is worth 14 points. And in fact, let's say I had 3 Australian icons in my zoo, I could pay 2 of these tokens to say now I have 5, and put out one of these. So you have 4 different projects that you can use on 4 different conservation projects. Also, if you meet one of these on your turn, I built two of the projects. I have 4 different animals out on my board. I've done one of the conservation objectives, or I have 3 of the same icon, water, land, forest, or rock next to each other. Then I will flip this over, and what this does is it lets me upgrade one of my cards here. When you upgrade a card, it turns the arrow, so the arrow goes to the bigger number, which is the only way to get your arrow to the 5s here. And also, it makes the ability better. Take 2 tiles from display, play 1 or 2 animals with rock, although the combination of those 2 animals has to be 2 or less. The last thing that you will do on your turn then is slide all these tiles down, refill them with more for the next player, and continue. When you run out of tiles in the tile box, or when someone has their board completely full, which, by the way, the first person to do that will get some extra bonus points, or someone gets all their objectives out there, that's going to end the game. Then you'll go through, and everything is going to score you points if it has it on there. Like, for example, this one is 5 points. This one is 2 points for each herbivore that's directly next to it. This one is 1 point for every water tile that's part of the same group, which is this one and this one. And if there was a water tile here and here, they would all be connected into one big group. And some give you points just for every thing of that type that's on the board. There's petting zoo tiles like this one here, which is 3 points, but 2 of them are next to each other. Then they're 9 if you get 3 next to each other. They're 18 points. This one just gives you 1, like I said, for every predator on the board. So you'll add all these points together, and whoever has the most is the winner. Not forgetting to include the points that you get from these projects up here. Leftover tokens. Some animals give you pouch tokens, like kangaroos and stuff, and you'll get points from those. Whoever has the most, like I said, is the winner. Okay, so the game, component-wise, I really like the tray for the tiles. Instead of having a huge stack of tiles, the tray works fine. I think it's hard to shuffle.
Yeah.
You had a huge stack.
That's
It's
a lot
a huge
of tiles.
stack of tiles to shuffle, and you really have to.
But
As
also,
opposed to Ark Nova.
what do you do if they come out with an expansion?
Well, I'm not worried about that.
I am.
But no, it took them a long time to come out with an expansion for Ark Nova. I'm not
No,
worried
that's fair,
about
that's
the
fair.
rush here. What do you think about how the game looks?
Okay, so I think that it looks very Ark Nova-ish,
Yes.
but I do find that some parts of it are a problem mechanically because of how it looks. For example, the little arrows that point to where the little fields are, that
So
some
easy
of
to
them
miss.
are so easy to miss, even when there's a double one, but sometimes there's other icons on the right side on the bottom, and so there's only a single arrow. Yeah, that I don't mind that mechanism, but yeah, visually it's a mess.
Oh, I agree. I think from looking at it, those arrows are really easy to miss. And I also found that a lot of the iconography
Could be
is
larger.
not clear.
Right.
And I almost feel like the rule book and sheet was written as if you already know how to play Ark Nova.
I agree with that 100%. I don't want to harp on it too much, but yeah, but I do appreciate one of the things they did do is that in the iconography, if there is something that's a funky rule for just that tile, they put an asterisk next to the symbol and they spell it out in English below it. I think that is a good way to do it. If iconography works 90% of the time, but for the 10% of the time, this is a little bit of an odd thing, I appreciate you just spelling it out.
Well, that comes back to the last thing I want to say about visually, and this is before we talk about the game itself, is I found because when I'm teaching this game, I find the scoring tough to teach. Okay, this tile's worth 8 points. This one is 2, showing a predator token, but that's 2 for every predator on the board. This is 2 for every predator it's next to directly. This is 2 for every predator that's in a conglomerate group. Those are not easy to understand for a lot of people. And I don't think the iconography is very good. The conglomerate group one, it just shows some tiles. That's not easy. And this game is a bear to score. I mean, it's a real pain. Like Ark Nova and other games, you are scoring as you play. This is harder to score than What's the one with bears and the from Fallout
Baron?
games?
Oh,
Dartmoor, the
Yeah, okay.
forest.
No. The Cascadia. Sorry, Cascadia.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
at the end you go through every tile, and here you're going through every tile, and the score sheet is like score the animals. I'm like, that's 20 of these tiles, and some of them are like 2 for every icon. 1 for every icon, and you have to add all that. I found it's a lot. This needs an app where you can take a picture and score it. But I found scoring is, I think you're going to make a mistake.
I think scoring takes a while, but I don't think it's hard to understand. I think right here, if you have...
You understood it. I'm saying I've taught it to many people who did not.
Oh, okay. Maybe just
I think so. The way that
brilliant.
I did it is I just went through every tile and scored them, and I didn't follow the sheet, and I feel like that helped.
I think that's how you should do it.
Yeah.
That sheet, though, tells you do all the animals, do all the buildings, Michael. I'd
Ignore
rather
the
just
sheet.
write them down one at a time. But even still, it takes a long time. I don't know how many points I have. I think I have a lot. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit, though, there's a great chance you get it wrong. Because I think I scored mine 2 or 3 times. And
And then I scored it correctly.
He did, yeah.
So much for the brilliance.
So Joey's got.
But you do skip tiles because it's not in a grid. You're like, okay, I'm going to go systematically. Oh, did I get that one? I think I did. Maybe I didn't. So that could happen. Double check yourself.
Yeah, no, nothing to add. No notes on that regard.
Yeah, okay. That was the way it looks and everything. But let's talk about how it plays. It has one of my favorite mechanisms in the world, which is take the card and the action you're doing at the tile, and then you slide it to the bottom, and the actions get better, and you can upgrade them and flip it to the other side with the arrow.
Love that.
Which is one of my favorite things from Ark Nova. I'm much less excited with it in this game. I like this game, by the way, just in case it's not coming clear.
Oh, you do like it?
I do. I like it. I don't love it. So
Oh,
be
okay.
clear. But here, and I'm going to explain some of the reasons why. This is one of them. In Ark Nova, that 5-card thing is so amazing. And the main thing is all 5 cards are tremendously different. Here,
Oh, right.
3 of them are literally the same card, just a different type of animal. And while that's functional and streamlined, it takes away from the charm of that.
It also, because the tiles are dependent on the lineup, you don't have, like, you can't really think ahead. You're like, cool, I upgraded my brown, but I used my 2 brown tiles that I wanted to build, and now I will have no more brown tiles. Like, there's just potential that it doesn't help.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I don't find that I'm very strategically maneuvering the 4 tiles, the 4 cards in front of me. I can't wait till this is a strength 4, because that's really going to matter. Yeah, everything's going to be okay, and then I'll probably activate the strongest one. Sometimes I activate the strongest one, not really even needing it that strong. It's just, it's time to put an exhibit out there that's a rock-type exhibit. I don't find that action selection thrilling, which is my favorite part of Ark Nova, which is why I think that it's a good game despite its big length and everything. I was really hoping for that same type of tension in a quicker format, and that's not what to expect, I think, in this box.
I appreciate the puzzle. I think on flipping those and when to move what tile to the front and back and forth, I do think that is contingent sometimes on the luck of whatever comes out of the market. You know, because that is very limiting on which tile you can get. I think there's a puzzle there, but whether it's solvable really depends on some luck of the draw, too.
Well, and I think that it's very easy to flip them over, whereas I feel like in Ark Nova, the odds of you getting, I think you can only flip over
You can
4
only
out
flip
of the
over
5,
4.
right? And they're hard to do. You have to really work at it. Whereas I feel like the things that you're going to be doing in the game anyways are going to lead to you flipping them over in Sanctuary. And so it bothers me less that they're specialized because I'm going to flip them all over anyways.
All right, so that's one of the main things. The other then is the actual placement of the tiles, and you're trying to get stuff around it. They've taken Ark Nova's tons of stuff and shoved it into the tiles. Partner zoos, they're on a tile now. Grants, they're on a tile. Releasing an animal into the wild, it's on a tile. Everything's on the tiles now. Everything revolves around tiles, and some are all about points. Some are giving you benefits for the rest of the game, and there's a lot of luck, although you can always take one tile of your choice, which I think is a bigger deal in this game than it was in Ark Nova. In Ark Nova, there's, take any card you want. Usually, I had so many cards work with I didn't care. Here, I might really want a tile.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, you go for it.
Oh no, I was going to say I agree. You know, and no, what I was going to say is I think the decisions. I like the decisions that come with that. Like as far as releasing the animal, it is a smaller decision space, but there are some good decisions to be made in there. Like, do I release this, or is this going to ultimately get me 2 times that many predators I have. A lot of those little decisions come forward, I think.
And I
on the
think
tile
that it's
placement.
in terms of economy of space and economy of sundry mechanisms on the table. This does a very good job of kind of reducing that. Putting it
Yes.
all on the tiles makes it so you're not playing the game and someone goes, hey, what's that sideboard do over there on the side of the table I can't see? Oh, that's the partner zoo mechanism, right? It does kind of focus it all, which I think is a good strength of it. The downside of it is the tile lineup is far more random feeling to me, where like I really would like to work on another building, and I'm not seeing one of those come up. And the only building came out, got swallowed up before my turn. There's nothing I can do to supersede the luck of the draw in that instance, unfortunately.
That's the reason why Arc Nova in general is just okay to me, is because it's such a big deck that I feel like you're just like weeding through it, trying to find the thing that you want. But I like the spatial puzzle in this, and I like that it's more condensed down because it doesn't take as long, so I feel like I can appreciate it in a smaller sphere, and therefore I'm less frustrated by the randomness of the draw.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the draw, I like drawing those 2 tiles. And, like you said, those 2 random tiles, they could just actually work out, and that could end up being a lot of points for you. But it is luck on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of times in this game. I mean, again, I feel like some of the mechanisms here is streamlined, and the more I think about this, the more I'm kind of focusing my final thoughts on it too. But that at the beginning of the game, or anytime you draw a tile is at the bottom, you take that first tile, right? That's all you can do, unless you've upgraded it, and you can take the first 2. And you take that first tile, and you're like, there's nothing I can do with this. I don't really care about it. But it was the tile I got, and I don't feel excited about that. I can now draw 2 more tiles, which is just completely random, and they may or may not work. And this is where I really agree with Chris. I felt in Arc Nova, the biggest complaint against Arc Nova is there's a big deck of cards, and you might not find the card you're looking for. But I didn't have a problem with that. The expansion fixed it. But I didn't have a huge problem with it because there were so many cards I could work with. In this case, the tiles, you can sometimes just not play them. If that first tile is a 5 at the beginning of the game, you're taking that. You can't play it forever, until you have upgraded it, which you need to get other animals to upgrade it. So it's just take forever, and that's just luck. And then the next tile is something that's 2, then the next person can put something out on turn 1. And that's all luck. I just think that luck is more noticeable by a large amount.
And maybe there's just less fun distractions while you're waiting for the luck to swing around your way. That is a strength of these games like Arc Nova, the huge decks. Like, okay, well, I can't build this monkey card. I'll just build these lizards. There are times where I kind of felt quite hamstrung in this game.
Interesting.
So what's your favorite parts of this, of Sanctuary?
I like the tile placement. I think there is some luck, but I also think it's more forgivable in this because it's half the length of Arc Nova,
For sure.
So that I think I'm okay with a bit more luck. And then when that luck actually tends to go your way, you're like, that's great. I've got both lions now. Now to figure out that placement and put them next to each other. And maybe I can get 2 tigers. Just so you know, you cannot get both lions and both tigers.
In my experience, you can't even
Too much wild space.
get
required.
there.
I really like the buildings. I think that is a real cool aspect, especially because they have a spatial element to them a lot of times, or they're almost an achievement that you're trying to
I do
reach,
like the
where you're like,
buildings.
hey, all my river spaces are covered, or I have a certain amount of this animal in my park, or whatever. Like, I just think that they're a cool element that mixes up I'm just putting animals out.
I think that the mechanism of wild zones, wild space, where to play this tile you have to put something to the top left.
yeah.
It's a thing to do with the tiles that don't work for your strategy. Cool, I'll flip that over, put it on my board, and then if I can synergize things, then that's a fun little puzzle. It didn't often work out for me, but I think that's a good mechanism. It feels like multi-use cards with these tiles.
Yeah. What are your final thoughts, Chris?
Final thoughts. I don't really enjoy this game. We've talked about some of the good, some of the negative, and for me, the good parts of it. Hey, this is a streamlined Arc Nova sort of inspired game. I think just on its own merits, it's not a game I'd ever pull out. It's not a game that mechanically excites me. I think its strongest feature is still just okay to me. I think I'm coming in at a 5 on this one. Like, I don't really want to play it again, particularly. And if it wasn't for the fact that it's Arc Nova branded, I don't know what else would be my draw to it.
Yeah, I'm higher than Chris, but I'm coming in at a 6.5 for me. This is just shy of what I want it to be. What happened here with this game is they streamlined Ark Nova. There's no question on that. And that may be a very big draw to a lot of people. But they streamlined it so much. They took out a lot of fun things, like the 5 cards where I'm sitting here going, ooh, I get to use one of these tiles to draw cards, or this one I'm going to use to, build some enclosures. And I felt like I was actually doing some cool things. This took all that away from me. This took away a bunch of the fun, interesting things I could do. The 2 tracks crossing each other. I missed that. That was just a lot of the neat things from Ark Nova are gone. Now, the fun part about building a zoo is still there. They added in some fun things that don't give a lot of payoff a lot of times. Like, for example, get the male and female if you're lucky. And the other person in front of you goes, well, I don't know what tile to take, so you're not getting the female lion, Right. And that happens so much in this. I just recently played a game with someone who won through sheer luck, in the sense that they just got all the tiles they needed. Could have been anybody.
I won by a lot, just so
but it really came down to drawing the right tiles at the right time, and
skill.
100%.
Skill, Joey. Right?
I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not saying there's no skill in this, and I definitely don't want to pretend that you're a bad player by any means. But you drew the right predator tiles.
I did.
And then you draw a tile that said, this is good for predators. And then you got another tile that said, work with predators.
I did.
That's kind of lucky. And I just can't get on board with that much luck in the game. So that just keeps me, other than that, I like it. It's quick. It works well. It's a well put together game. I just don't know that I love it.
Okay. I'm going to start next, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm giving this a 7.5. I really like how much they've streamlined it and they've made it quicker. Because for me, I have a luck spectrum that the more lucky a game is, the shorter I want it to be. And then I'm absolutely fine with it.
Well, that I'm with you on that.
And so because this is shorter and cleaner in some ways, I guess, but it's really brought down. I enjoy that. I also just love tile placement. I love the spatial puzzle of laying stuff out, and you do get that in regular Ark Nova. But I just like the way that you're trying to fit stuff together. The buildings, love that. And then the tiles, I find that I still find them to be enjoyable. They're still a challenge. They're still a puzzle, like what Joey was saying. So even though they're not as interesting, I still enjoy them. And because it doesn't have just that really long lucky deck, instead it's just it's a short game with a lucky deck, then I enjoy it. So 7.5.
Got a bit higher than her. Even I'm at an 8 on this. And Ark Nova, my favorite part of that is the spatial element of that, but you have to go through all the other just stuff. You talk about what this has taken out, but what it gives you back is an extra 2 hours of your life every time you play Ark Nova.
I don't know that it's that much shorter. This is, for 4 players, this is a 90-minute game.
It is, but it could fly, because it's very quick. I mean, you've got very limited things you can do on your turn.
Sure.
It's just boom, boom, and as you start flowing. I also think there are different avenues of victory. Like you said, there's that luck on drawing the predators, what you want to get, but then there's also that pivot that happens. That luck is not going my way. How can I pivot this and see if I can make this winning strategy? Is there luck? There is luck, but it is a shorter one. I think it's forgivable. I think it takes some of my favorite parts of Ark Nova and puts it into something smaller.
Do we all agree, though, that your opinion of Ark Nova... your opinion of Ark Nova probably will not reflect your opinion of this.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't like if you love Ark Nova or hate Ark Nova.
Yeah.
That shouldn't affect your opinion of that. I think you will like or dislike this game on its own merits.
100%.
Unless you hate Ark Nova because animals exist.
True.
There's a few of you out there. You know who you are. No,
you don't like zoos.
I think to Joey's point, if you looked at the overview of this and you said, those are my favorite parts of Ark Nova, you should absolutely try
Might be
this.
your jam.
If kind of like with Tom or me, you said, oh, it's missing my favorite parts of Ark Nova, then be aware of that going into it.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. So check it out. Definitely, I think for most people, this will be one you'll want to try at some chance before you buy it, or if it looks like something you'd be interested in, check it out. So that's Sanctuary. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm Joy Evans.
And he's the Tiger King.
I won so bad.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.